and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And today, let's find out what's on the hook. Well, I have on the hook and two other crafts that I want to talk about very quickly. But right now, I want to tell you, you look amazing. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a great Memorial Day. That was on Monday, and that is the day when we remember our service people who lost their lives while in the service. So that is called Memorial Day. We have lots of other holidays and memory days that we remember people in certain capacities, but that is the one for Memorial Day. So if you have a relative or a friend or know someone who was serving and who died, those are the folks that we remembered back on Monday. I hope you remember those who lost their lives and who paid the ultimate price for our freedom. So we're just thrilled that our country is free and we're able to have a YouTube channel where we talk about whatever we want for the most part. So I do that, and I'm here to talk about crochet and for diamond painting and one other craft too as well. So let's get started. First of all, a small announcement. I received an email saying that the Crochet magazine, this one right here, Crochet with an exclamation point, they will not be publishing after September. And the October issue was unfortunately the one I was going to be in. Yes, I had applied a year ago to be in this magazine, and they said, yes, great, they loved the pattern, and they wanted to rename the pattern and call it something different. This is the pattern called the Falling Leaves Cowl, and I released it back, I guess about maybe a year ago or so, maybe a little more than a year, and this is the one that I selected to send in to them and say, would you like to publish this in your magazine? And they said absolutely. We were back and forth. We talked about the pattern style and how I would write the pattern, and they made some corrections, I made some corrections, we did some different things, but we came up with the pattern that we both liked. I made a prototype in a yarn that I'll show you here in a little bit. I'm making something else out of it, but I made a Falling Leaves Cowl out of that, and so they wanted to rename this Falling Rain Cowl, and I was going to rename it in October when it was published in the Crochet exclamation point magazine. So unfortunately that is not going to happen, but I was on the publishing line and they were going to publish my pattern. I was really excited about it, and I didn't want to say anything until it came out in the magazine, and this is a good reason because they quit publishing the magazine, so I won't be in it. But I feel good about, they're picking me. That was a good thing, and I felt good about that. So just a little announcement about the Crochet magazine. As you could probably tell, I'm wearing the People's Pullover today. This is a sweater that I designed for a project to send some money to the Samaritan's Purse last year. And those of you who watch me know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the pattern that I created for the Ukrainian people, and I called it the People's Pullover. And y'all were wonderful, wonderful to buy this pattern. I didn't give discounts on it, but I sent the proceeds to the Samaritan's Purse, and it ended up being about $1,300. I was so excited to do that, and that's where this came from. But I wanted to bring your attention to it again. If you didn't know anything about this is a great pattern. I have some really cute details and design details on it. It was a very special pattern that I wanted to create for that project. So as you can see, this is the Ukrainian flag right here, and I used these colors right here. And I went to Paintbox and found two colors that I thought matched the flag exactly. Buttercup yellow, which is this contrast color, and sailor blue, and it was a worsted size cotton, very comfortable. I've worn it a bunch. I really like the way it fits. I love the way the sleeves are made right into the fabric. It makes the sweater very simple to make, to fit you. All of my patterns are for fitting you. All of the designs are not stitch focused. They are measurement focused, so everything will fit you. Crystal's going to wear the second version that I made of the People's Pullover. Here's Crystal wearing the People's Pullover in two different colors. I think these are Paintbox as well. I just chose different colors here that were a little bit more similar in tone. So they're not extreme contrast like this. So if you're looking for a pattern that you can use 2 colors in, but you don't want to make it scream, which is sort of what this is, but I like bold colors. I'm fine with that, but I also love muted colors. So Crystal's going to back up here, and you can see the lace bottom at the bottom. Here it is right here on Crystal, and it looks pretty in the coral as well. But I'm going to stand up and model this one for you. Here's the design of the sweater that I rolled out that week that I decided to do this. This is the People's Pullover, and it's kind of their colors of their flag, and here's a picture of the flag so you can see what it looks like. But this is the People's Pullover, and the back of it looks like this. It's about mid-length down my hip. It's short sleeves, very comfortable, and it's made mostly from double crochet. It's very easy to do. I have on a tank top under this because of the bright lights here, but you don't really have to wear one. If you size down a hook too, you can make your fabric a little more dense, and that would work too. I also did about 5 inches of lace at the bottom, and I thought that was a nice touch under the contrasting line. Now Crystal has on the one, and I just showed that to you, that is in the 2 more similar colors, so it's not such a stark contrast. But I did want to do that on the original because I was supporting the Ukrainian people. So this is the People's Pullover, and it's a great pattern. You don't have to make it from blue and gold, but I did, and I also made a different color as well to show you that it looks good in either type of color contrast. Well, again, I used Paintbox yarn in the 2 different colors, and I also I used Paintbox for both types of color contrast. You just Google Paintbox yarns, and all of the suppliers will be there, and it may even be on Amazon as well. So if you're interested in making that, all the patterns that I talk about today will be in the description box, so you can just click the link and go there and find them very easily. Now, last week I showed you some acquisitions that I'd made. I bought 2 cakes of Mandala Impressions, which is this from Lion Brand. And I bought 2 colorways. One is Nightfall, which is this one, and one is Lakeside, which is this one. It's a little bit more blue in there. This is more, I don't know, just different colors. But I wanted to show you these 2. I had one put away and I couldn't find it real quick, so I thought I would show these this week. Nightfall, Lakeside. Very pretty. And I plan to make a hat from each one of these. This is a bulky yarn, and it should go very quickly. I know pretty much what I'm going to do with those, so that's why I bought those. I'm going to make a couple of hats. I know I don't wear hats all that much. I just don't wear hats. I wear berets sometimes. In the wintertime I'll wear a beret, and I have several of those that I pick from, and I'm just not a huge hat fan. But if it's really, really cold, I'll put a hat on if I'm going outside. But usually I can avoid going outside when it's extremely cold. I just stay indoors for the most part. But if I find myself at a playground with the grandkids, I will wear a hat for sure. I will wear a hat. All right, so moving right along, I want to show you the progress I've made on my diamond painting. And I'm painting this, I don't know which side he's going to be on. Let me move over a little bit, and I'll put him over here. This is Salvatore Mundi by Leonardo DaVinci, a beautiful diamond painting that I bought from Heaven and Earth Designs. That is the canvas that I bought from them. I bought the diamond drills from Diamond Drills USA, and all those links will be down in the description box if you're interested. If you find a piece of art on the Heaven and Earth Designs website and it hasn't been made into a diamond painting canvas, you can ask them to do that, and they will do that for you. And their canvases are very detailed, very, very detailed. There are lots and lots of colors, as you will see in my progress video here, but I wanted to tell you that ahead of time because there's a lot of confetti in there, which is where every little tiny square on the canvas is a different color, and every now and then I'll get to diamond paint multiple colors, multiple drills at one time. Like I see a symbol that might be 4 question marks, and I can put 4 drills onto the little pin that has the wax on it, and it holds those drills on, and then you place them onto the canvas in the spot where they're supposed to go. Well, if you can place more than one, then you can save time and go faster, and so that's what I try to do. And this painting and the angel playing a flageolet, which I've talked about 10 times on my videos, or probably more than that. Probably more than that. Those paintings are very detailed and not for the faint of heart. If you've already done some diamond painting, you feel pretty confident, you can order one from Heaven and Earth, and it'll be a challenge for you, a big challenge. But if you send the color chart to Diamond Drills USA, I'm not sponsored by any of these people, but if you send it to them, they are very, very good about putting all your drills together and pulling them all, making sure you have enough drills for each color, and they send it to you in a bag, and they're all in baggies, they're all labeled. It's quite lovely. And then I put them into containers that will hold the drills. And so enough about that. Let's go and look at the progress I've made on Salvatore Mundi. Now I'm showing you some quick progress I've made on my Salvatore Mundi diamond painting, and this is just turning out to be beautiful. As you can see, I'm down here. I've finished the hand, his left hand, and also part of the globe, and that is, you can barely see it right there, but he's holding a crystal globe to symbolize the world. And then over here is the robe that he's wearing, and you can see there's the decoration at the bottom of the chest. And down here is complete confetti. And if you are a diamond painter, you'll know what that means. That means that every square is a different color. That's just about right. There are a few here and there that are duplicate, but I'm going to get right down here on it so you can see it. And I have the light on behind it so you can see it a little bit better. You can see that it's square drills, and they are hard to line up. I guess I struggle with that a little bit, but when you get back here you can't really see it, see? But when you get down onto it, you can tell. And what I do, here's a little tip for you diamond painters. I have a device that I use. This is it right here. This is a rose straightener, and you hold it in your hand like this, with your thumb on the top side, and you place it on the drills, in between the drills, and run it up and down a little bit like that. And that will straighten out the rows there going up and down. You can also do it side to side. And I have done it here a little bit. I haven't finished. This is a part that I haven't finished right here. You can tell some of the lines are a little bit crooked there, so I'll straighten those up with this device. You can get these on Amazon. I'm not sponsored or anything, but it comes with this size, which is a pretty small size. You can see that. It's a small size. It has a place for your fingers. Let me get that right here. It has a place for your fingers right here, so it gives you that leverage that you need to go up and between the rows. And then also it comes in this size. Let me get this for you. I'll show you this one. This is huge. It's a little bit too big for me, and it weighs quite a bit. But if you have a very large painting and you have strength in your hands, it would probably be a lot faster because the actual edge is longer than the other one. But I really like the smaller one. To me, it's a little bit easier to maneuver. But that's a little tip for you diamond painters. You can get these on Amazon again, and they're very helpful when you're using square drills, but I've also used them extensively on round drill paintings because I tend to really go wild with the round drills, and they're usually not lined up all that well. So I can line them up with this device. So I just wanted to show you that. Again, here's where I am. I'm working on this square right here. I'll get down here and show it to you. I have about half of it done, and as you can see, the squares are just all different symbols in there. There's a few repeats here, and here's a big repeat section up here. As you can see, the arrows going down, going down, so I can multi-place those. But this square right here is a lot of confetti in there, so I'm good. I'll probably finish this tonight, and I'll move on to this square. And you see how far I've gotten on my Salvatore Mundi. About right there, so you can see where I am. And I've completed a whole row of 3-inch squares, and then I'm on the second one. So I'm excited. My next row will probably include part of his hand on the right side, and then we'll get into more of the robe up there. So that's really fun. And I'll tell you one thing about this particular painting. The colors are not vivid. They're not very vivid colors. Although right here on his fingers, I noticed I was putting in almost white, but when you get back, it gives the fingers more perspective, and you can see that they're holding the round crystal there that symbolizes the world. So I'll be getting into that on this row, so I'll be excited. I'll be finishing that, and I'll show you my progress each week as I do my videos. So that's what I have done on Salvatore Mundi by Leonardo DaVinci. Earlier this week, I wanted to make a stitch marker, and I decided that I wanted to make some stitch markers with the alphabet letters on them so that I can label my whips with a stitch marker that will have the number or the letter of the crochet hook that I'm using on that whip, on that work in progress, if you're not familiar with that. So I bought some of the parts, but I already had some. I had a lot of beads and equipment, pliers, all that I was going to make jewelry at one point. And I didn't do that. I had a great thought, and something big came up in my life. I think my daughter's third baby was born or something, and I put that away in my craft room, and I came across it the other day, and I thought, I'm going to make some stitch markers. So I thought I would practice in learning how to put them together, and then I ordered some alphabet tiles from Amazon, and I'm going to use those in my stitch markers. And I may give a lot of them away, I may keep some, I don't know, but it's just something I wanted to learn how to do. So I have this on a ring. This won't be part of it, but this is, let me turn it this way so you can see it. This is a stitch marker that I made out of some beads that I had in my box, and I'll get that right up there where you can see it. It's got a brown bead and then some pink and some clear beads on it. But this is the part I was trying to understand how to do right there, that little piece, and how to use the pliers to make those stay together. And I figured it out and watched a couple of YouTubes, and I was good to go. I had all the equipment, so I'd already done all that, and I just put it out on my desk, and I found this, which is this is a little piece of fabric that you lay out, and this was in a kit that I bought. But you lay this on your desk or flat surface there, and then you place your beads on that, and they don't roll around. It's not sticky, but it's just a piece of fabric that you can move from place to place if you need to, or you can just lay it onto your desk or your hard surface, and it will hold your beads in the same spot. And then you can put the beads in order that you want to put them on your earrings, for example. If you're making two just alike, you definitely want to put your beads on in the same order. So the way this is connected with diamond painting is that the containers I use for my diamond painting are also used for beading. And beading, B-E-A-D-I-N-G, beading is short for jewelry making and stitch markering, or whatever you want to call it. Those are the same containers that you use for beads and also for diamond drills. So I found this. This was a set of diamond drills, and I still have the labels on here. I haven't taken them off, but if you can see in there, those are beads now. I put some of the beads there, the connectors right there. You can see those, and these are the beads. I have several colors in there, and just kind of fun things to put together. But I also found two more, and they had never been opened, the containers. So I filled them up with beads that I had in my box, and there are all kinds of little things that you can put in there, little equipment and pieces that you use to put the the beads on. You can put them on these, or you can use wire. And I found that using wire was much easier. This is the wire that I had. It's Chinese or something. I don't know what that is. Yunzi. It's 0.4 millimeter, and it's very, very thin wire, but it bends very easily. Look at that. So you can bend it very easily. And I also found 3 pairs of pliers, different kinds of pliers that you use in jewelry making. I had all these in a box, and so I thought, I'm going to use those to make some stitch markers and maybe some earrings too, because I also found these, which are the top of an earring, the top edge of an earring right there, that little top piece that goes through your ear. I found all those right there, and I also found some specialty beads and some little rings that you use to connect the pieces together, and then some more beads over here. Look at that. I found all kinds of beads. I even have more beads than that. but I don't have any containers yet until I empty them and put my drills into the right Ziploc baggies. I don't know if you know what I mean, but anyway, that's what I did in order to make this little stitch marker. I also made a couple of earrings too, and Mr. On the Hook really liked those. And I've put those away, and I should have had those on my desk, but I don't have them right here. I might wear them maybe in my next video or something, but these I did not make. These I bought, and I just love bold earrings, and I love earrings that match my outfit. I love that. So it's perfect for me because I can just grab beads and make earrings to match whatever outfit I want. So that's a different little craft. It doesn't take long. I sit here and I actually watch other YouTubes. So it's so much fun to do, and it's another little craft that I've started to do a long time ago and I didn't finish, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go down there and take care of that right now. So I did, and I've made a few things with it, and I might continue to do that as well. Okay, let's go on to some whips. I have whips galore. I think I have 4 that I want to show you today. Now, this whip is made with an eye hook, and the eye hook, I always have to look to see how many millimeters, 5.5 millimeters. I usually use letters, and that's why those stitch markers are so great for me, because the alphabet tiles that I'm going to put on them, it make it so easy to find the hook that you need for a whip that you may have put away a while back. So that's why I use those. But this is a special scarf that I'm making, easy peasy scarf, and I think I'm going to send this out for free to the community. So if you're not in the community, be sure to join up, because I've already written the pattern for this. I haven't quite finished it yet, but I want to send that out to everyone just as a fun thing to make for either fall or even for summer. If you make it out of cotton, it's awesome. So this is what I'm making it from. This is Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Plaid. They don't sell this anymore, but they have other yarns that are very similar to this. And they're 360 yards on the skein. It's a worsted weight yarn, and there's a lot of yarn on there. Look at that. There's just a lot of yarn. I've used some of it for the scarf, and I'm sure it won't take more than a skein to make this scarf. But it takes about 6 ounces of yarn. I tried it first with a DK yarn, and I've ripped that out. I've frogged it out because I wasn't going to continue because I didn't have enough yarn. I only had 1 hank of that yarn, and it was only 3 ounces, and I needed 6 ounces for this scarf. As far as I know, I think that's where I'm going. I think I'm about a third of the way through, and I had a third of the 6 ounces. I had 2 ounces in this, so I needed 6 ounces of yarn. So there you go. I've already written the pattern, so that'll be coming out for free. So be sure you join the community. It's free to join, and you get a pattern when you join up. And if you look for that email that comes in after you join, there'll be a free pattern PDF there linked to it. You can just click that and print it off if you want to. And I'll also be sending out, if I send out free patterns, then you will get a free pattern. You also are first to know when I send out a new pattern, and you get a substantial discount code that goes only to the community. So be sure that you sign up. I'll put a link down in the description, and please do that before you click away today. Go down there and join the community because you can't miss. It's free to join. The other day, I had a meeting with the Crochettes. That's a small group of women who all crochet, and we bring a whip to the gathering, and also whoever's hosting it usually fixes food, or people can bring dishes, and we eat and talk about crochet, and it's so much fun. We also talk about a lot of other stuff too. But I know you know who Jo is. Jo from Jo for Totes, and she makes beautiful project bags, and she's on a hiatus right now. She's not making any right now, so don't send her an email. But anyway, Jo was there. She hosted the meeting actually, and it was Jo and 3 other women and me. So we had 5 people there. It was a lot of fun, and she had been participating in a craft show up where she lives, and she had made some small project bags, and she brought them to the Crochettes meeting, and I took one, and I still have to send you a check, Jo. I'm sorry about that. I keep forgetting to do that. But this is the bag that I picked up. Isn't that cute? I love the fabric. It's got a flat bottom. It's not huge. It's a small bag. It's probably about 9 inches wide, I guess, and it has a zipper at the top, and it's lined in this beautiful fabric. Look, isn't that pretty? It's lined in this kind of a watercolor fabric, and then the outside is also a watercolor design, and just so beautiful. Look at that. I just really love it. And I have a project in here that I've been working on for quite a while, and this is I think it's going to be an Agnes sweater. I'm not really sure. I might put some sleeves in it. I don't know. The Agnes sweater is a sleeveless summer sweater, but it's made from URU yarn. Asher is the sort of the line of yarn, but it's by Knit Crate. Knit Crate is no more. They have gone out of business, and so I still have a lot of their yarn, and I decided to use some of it for this project. Now this is called Old Barn. That's the color of it. And it is, I'm reading this off the screen, 34% cotton, 35 linen, 10 lyocell, 11% nylon. And it is a sport weight yarn, 351 yards on the hank. And I have I believe I have 4 hanks of this. I don't know why I bought so much, but I was really excited about the color. This is the color of the yarn. Now it's a linen yarn, so it is not like an acrylic yarn at all. It's a chain yarn as well, so it does not split. There's no splitting there. But it's a chain yarn. You see that right there? It's a chain yarn. And this is what it looks like crocheted up. Very beautiful. It's kind of a tonal. There's lots of different shades of reddish color in there. And I will tell you what I did first of all. This is interesting. So it's a mistake that I made, but I rectified the mistake, and I'll show you how I did it. This is the width that I had along the bottom hip, and it was too small. I don't know how I did that. I just was crocheting along. I didn't double check, which I always tell y'all to do, but I didn't do it. And this was the width of the bottom, right from my finger there to my finger there. Well, I realized it was looks like about 3 inches too short around the hip. I knew I was going to need more width. So I added, after I crocheted about this much right here, I crocheted back and forth this way, and then I stopped here, and I turned my fabric this way, and I crocheted from here across until I had the width that I wanted. So the piece I ended up with after I did both sides was this wide. Okay, you see my 2 hands here. It was this wide, and then I continued to crochet here, and I crocheted the rest of it that width. If you can see, that's the extra width right there, and it'll be at the bottom of the sweater. The sweater will be like this, be at the bottom, and you probably won't even notice it. In fact, I don't even care. It could be a design element for all they know. If anybody looks at it, they're certainly not going to say anything, and they're not going to think any different. They're just going to think, wow, look at that different stitch there, or if they even notice. Most people don't notice. But anyway, this is the project I have going now. This is Agnes, and it's taking me forever. I'm making it with a G hook, which is a very teeny tiny little hook, and y'all know you've seen these before. This is the G hook, and the millimeters on this is 4.0 millimeters. It's a very tiny hook. It's a very tiny hook, but I'm working on it, and a little bit at a time. There was also a stitch marker on here that Jo had put on her bags, and there's the one that came with it right there. You see that? And so she inspired me to make some stitch markers, and I was telling you about this in the last segment, but I found some little beads. The first 2 that I made, the first 2 stitch markers, I attached them to this. So there they are. There's one there, and there's one over there, the pink one. Joe's is in the middle there. So I made those. Those were my very first 2, and then I made the long with this one right here. So I made this one. I thought that was pretty too. But I'm getting a little bit better with it. You have to work on it to make it perfect, and so that's what I'm doing right now. So I've made 3 stitch markers so far. My third whip is made from the Mandala Ombre. This one right here, Mandala Ombre. The colorway on this is Joy, J-O-Y, and I don't like it as much as I would love to like it, but this is very stripy. I showed this to you last week. This is the front of the sweater, like that. Now you can see it's already color blocked different over here. It's okay from there to the bottom because unfortunately, the stripes are just so defined. I'm not loving it, but I tried to create a distraction by putting some lace along the bottom. So I've done that, and I've finished the front, and the front will just have a scoop neck, and I'll probably put some sleeves in this one because I may not be able to wear it till fall. It's a little bit heavy for summer, but I could always wear it in air conditioning though, because sometimes it's really cold. This is the back. I've finished the back, all but the last maybe 3 or 4 rows up here at the top. As you can see, there's the armhole. I started that, and then there's the lace at the bottom to match up with the front. So this is the back of the sweater, and it doesn't look bad. It really, and actually it matches the front here along the side, because I started a new cake of this when I started the back, and I just left what was left of. This is what was left of the front. So. This has gotten them all tangled up, but it's not tangled yet. It's not tangled yet, but it may be after I get through with this video. It probably will be. But anyway, I only have a few more rows to go, and I could untangle it for that. But then I have to make the sleeves, and I hope I have enough yarn to make sleeves. I may not have enough. I might have to do a cap sleeve or something on that. But that is a WIP that I have in progress, and the pattern I'm using is just a combination of, I think it's more like the Plain Jane tee. It's really more like the Plain Jane tee. It's very easy to make. And I added the lace around the bottom. I don't think the Plain Jane tee had lace on it, but that was in this bag. Of course, this is one of the bags that Joe made me. I really love that bag. I went to my hairdresser not too long ago, and she had informed me that she was pregnant, and she was going to have a baby in like 2 months, as she was showing. I hadn't been to her in a couple, 3 months, so I didn't know that she was pregnant. She didn't tell me the first time I went. So I was so excited for her. She's young. She's only about 24. And she's an excellent hairdresser, but she is going to stay home with her little boy that she's having. And I was so excited to hear that. I very much encourage women to stay home at least for a year or 2, so you can love your baby and be with the baby every minute and just enjoy the company of that sweet little newborn. They're so much fun to be with. I stayed home actually for 7 years. Probably longer than I had planned to, but I really didn't want to leave my children too much with anybody else. I was very jealous of their time, so I stayed home for a while, and then when I did go to work, I went to work while they were at school, and so I didn't have to worry about them missing me at all. I would pick them up after school, and they wouldn't have to go home to an empty house. So I had a lot of plans in my mind, and I was excited when Sarah told me she was having a baby. So I immediately thought I have to make her something crocheted, because I always talk about my crochet when I'm in the chair. And she has an Etsy shop too where she sells other things, and I thought, well, you know, I'm going to just make her a little baby blanket. Why can't I do that? So I went to the yarn store, and I found the Bernat blanket yarn, of course, which they have thousands of these at Joann. And this is a new kind of Bernat blanket yarn. I love this. This is called Speckle, and that's what it looks like. And she had told me that the nursery is in cream and beige. Oh, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So I bought 2 skeins of this Bernat blanket. Let me get it back here where you can see it. There's the label. It's called Speckle. Bernat's blanket speckle. I got it at Joann's. I bought 2 of these brown ones, and then I'm going to put an edging around the outside, and it's going to be in this blue tonal right here. So I'll have those 2 colors together. There we go, for the baby blanket. It's going to be so pretty. I made 1 each for my daughter's children, and they still carry them around. It's been years since I gave them each a blanket for Christmas one year, and I know one of them, Quinn, he actually carries his around all the time. So thank you, Quinn, for being so lovely to your grandmother. But anyway, here's the pattern that I use. Yarnspirations. So simple. It can't get any simpler than this, but I'll put a link to this pattern in the description box. But it was Mikey, I think. Is it Mikey? I don't know. From the Crochet Crowd. That's where I saw it. And he made it look so easy. I thought, I can do that with my eyes closed, and I'll do that, take care of it. So I got an end hook, which is what is called for in the pattern, and the blanket yarn. And this is what I've made so far. This is the main part of the blanket. And look at that. It's so soft and so easy to make. It's with the moss stitch, and that's a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. All the way across, and then you do the ends however you're comfortable with. I think he shows you how to do the ends, and you can go on to the Crochet Crowd and watch a tutorial if you need it. But I know my people out there don't need a tutorial for this. This is really simple, and I read the directions. They're very simple to read, so you can do it too. But anyway, this is a baby blanket, and I maybe have put in maybe 3 hours on it, and I'm watching TV at the same time. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? I love the speckle yarn. That's something new and well worth the money. I think these were $6.99 on sale because they were $2 off, and I had a coupon that came in on my email. So if you're not signed up for their emails, you might do that because they send you offer codes, and of course y'all probably already know that. I might be late to the party on that. And those are the 4 whips that I have on the hook this week. I have 3 giveaways this week that I'm going to pick names for here in just a minute. And then I have some other giveaways that I'll talk about afterward. But before we pick the winners, I want to tell you quickly what they are. And this is the Crochet World. If you use the word world in your comment last week, you would be in the running for the Crochet World. So that is gift number 1. And it's also, this is one that I found that was February 2023. And I'm sorry about that, but it was put away. And I don't know why I did that, but I'm giving this away. So February 2023, and it's going to come up around pretty soon. If you start on something, you might be able to finish it by the time February rolls around again next year. And Crochet World is going to stay in the publishing business. They actually sent me the email about Crochet magazine, and they're going to pick up the subscriptions for the Crochet magazine that's going out of business. So I'm excited. I'll have even more Crochet World magazines to give away. Gift number 2 is a full skein of flex and a partial for something you might want to make. And this is, the colorway is silver lining, and it's a kind of a gray color. It's not the cream color. I made something out of this, and I made something out of the cream color as well. Love flex yarn. I just love it, but I don't have any more reason to have this, so I am sending this out to gift number 2 person, and along with that will be a skein of Heartland brand yarn. And let's see what the colorway is. Oh, this is not the Grand Canyon. I talked about this last week. This is another colorway, but it's the kind of the beige color. It's really pretty, and I have no use for it. And I found it, and I thought, I'm just going to give that away. The 3rd winner will receive a Frog or Finish project from me, and this is already finished. This is a finished sweater, a summer sweater made from cotton sprout yarn. And that is this yarn right here from Premier Cotton Sprout. And I'm giving away this last skein of yarn, or last cake, or this might have been a donut. I think this was a donut of yarn. I'm giving this away in order to make the correction. And the correction is at the bottom. And you'll just have to find the end of the yarn and pull it out and put a different, put a row of half double crochet or double crochet. Don't use a row of slip stitch, which is the reason I took it out to begin with, and then I messed it all up. And I already have 2 yellow tops, so I don't need another one. So this is going to a lucky winner who needs to fix that, though. You can't really wear it like that. That won't look right. So I will send this out to the winner of the 3rd gift on the giveaways this week. So let me put that away, and let's turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins these 3 gifts. Here we are at the YouTube random comment picker. I have entered the internet address of my last video there, and we're going to pick a winner. I've already written in the word world, which is the word you would need to be in the running for the Crochet World magazine. So let's pick a winner and see who won that, and that would be Sally Stevens. Sally Stevens, you have won the Crochet World magazine. Congratulations. Now I have changed the word to lion. You can't see it on this screen, but I just changed it to lion. And those who wrote lion in their comment would be in the running for this. And this is for the 2 skeins of flex, the 1 full skein and partial skein, and then also a skein of Heartland yarn. So this winner is Judith Smith. Judith Smith, you have won the Lion brand and the flex yarn from On the Hook Crochet. Now we're going to select the winner for the Frog or Finish sprout top. It's a summer top, and I just can't finish it. So we talked about this last week, and just in a few minutes ago we talked about it as well. And this is the person who won the frog or finish made from the Sprout yarn from Premier. So let's pick a winner for the frog and finish blouse that Jeannie crocheted and can't finish. Okay, that would be Martha Kelly. Martha Kelly. Oh, that's a beautiful yellow color of cotton sprout. And there she is right there with that word. That is the word sprout. So Martha Kelly, you have won the frog or finish yellow summer top from Jeannie at On the Hook Crochet. Congratulations to all our winners. Thank you, and please send your address to my email address. It's down in the description box. It's Jeannie@onthehookcrochet.com, and send me your address so that I can send those out to you. Everybody's sent out so far. They're all sent out. So I want to talk about the giveaways for next week. I have quite a few here, and I want everyone to be sure they watch the next video so that they know if they won or not, and that way they won't be sitting around in my craft room waiting for someone to claim them. Now look at this. See, this is a tank top that keeps poking its little head out there. Okay, so the first thing I have to give away is the Cross Stitch magazine, and this is last Christmas. This is the Christmas edition from last Christmas. Now look at those cardinals on there. That's probably why I kept it. And then I think, you know what, I'm not going to make anything out of here. I love it. I love this. I especially love the nativity silhouette. I've seen that on actual blankets at Mary Maxim actually has, I think they still have it. It's the nativity silhouette blanket, but this is the cross stitch pattern, and it's beautiful. It'll be beautiful on your wall at Christmas time or all year. I keep my Christmas things up on the wall all year round. I have Santa up in the boys' room upstairs, my diamond painting, and anything that I do that is Christmas, it goes right on the wall, and I don't take it down. This is a Christmas card. I thought that was a really nice touch. If you have a special person in your life that you can do cross stitch Christmas card for, your mom or somebody who means a lot to you and who is cross stitch worthy, that would be a nice thing to do, because a lot of my Christmas cards, sometimes they end up in the recycle bin, but if somebody cross stitched me something, that won't be going in the recycle bin. It'll be going on my wall or in a special book somewhere. Yes, someone who spent the time to do that. So make sure they're cross stitch worthy. But anyway, this is the book that I'm giving away next week. So if you are interested, you sign up for the word cross, you put that in your comment down below, and you'll be in the running for the Cross Stitch magazine. If you're not interested, don't use the word cross in your comment down there, and that way you won't be in the running and other people have a better chance of winning. Down in the craft room, I found some yarn that I had bought for an Afghan, and I of course didn't make it, and I'm famous for that. I'm famous for not finishing Afghans, but there again, I have one that I'm working with Annie's, and you can see it right there. All my materials that I'm using to make it, and all the little squares. And I actually received the other day the next kit. I'm really excited about this. Look at this beautiful yarn that comes with it. Every kit has yarn that comes with it, and of course the pattern that comes with it as well. So this is the pattern for 4 squares, and those ones in color are the ones I'll be making this month. So I'm real excited about getting started on that. I did finish the other, and 1,000 people looked at the Afghan kit video that I did for number 6, and there were some good tips in there, so be sure to watch it if you haven't watched it yet. It's the number 6 kit Afghan by Annie's, and they are sponsoring me for that, and loving every minute of it. I'm just learning so many things from that kit that I'm using. So they're actually sending it to me for free, and I'm sponsored by them, but I'm also doing a video every month, and I'm actually making the Afghan, so I'm really excited about that. I'll have an Afghan to put across the back of my sofa, and it's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. So be sure to watch the Annie's video, and you'll see the progress that I've made so far. Now back to the giveaways. This is 3 full skeins of taupe, and it is Vanna's Choice acrylic yarn in the taupe color. It's a pretty color. It's kind of a stone color really, but I don't know the names of my browns. I'm not really a brown person, but I did use this yarn. I just bought too much of it. I had 3 extra skeins, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give this away. I'm not going to use it for anything special. I could use it, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to give this away to a lucky winner next week, and you have to write the word Vanna. Let me turn her right side up here. Her name is Vanna, V-A-N-N-A. Just write Vanna, V-A-N-N-A, if you want to be in the running for these 3 skeins of 100% acrylic size 4 yarn. There are 170 yards on each skein. 170 yards. So that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. You can do some things with that. So that will go to winner number 2 next week. Use the word Vanna and you'll be in the running for that. Now, I have 2 gifts that were not given away because they were not claimed. And so the first gift is the Superwash Merino by Lion Brand, and one color is antique and the other color is kind of a dark charcoal. So those are the 2 colors. I have a skein of each one. Those are going out to a person who writes the word lion in their comment, L-I-O-N, lion. So I made the front and center poncho from this and loved every minute of it. It comes in some beautiful colors, but these are 2 colors that I used in my poncho, and I had extra skeins of them. So be sure to sign up for the Cotton Bamboo from Lion Brand. There are 3 skeins. This really looks like 2 and a little bit. I think I used just a tiny bit out of this one right here, but enough to do a baby sweater or something like that with it. Cotton Bamboo by Lion Brand and Cherry Blossom. And this will go to someone who writes the word cotton in their comment, C-O-T-T-O-N, C-O-T-T-O-N, cotton, lion, Vanna, and cross. And those are the 4 words to put in your comment if you want to be in the running for all 4, or you can leave one out or just sign up for one, however you want to do it. So I think that'll be fun next week. So we'll do that in my next video coming up probably next week. Probably won't spend 8 days not doing a video, but I'll do an Annie's video as well. If I can finish those squares, I'll be throwing that out there as well. So be sure you watch that Annie's video. It's fun, and I give you some tips about things that are important when you're doing squares, whether they're granny squares or they're mosaic squares like are in the Afghan. You can use those tips when you crochet. So those were given to you for you, and I hope you're watching my Annie's videos and these videos. Be sure to sign up for the community and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're not subscribed. It's free. All 3 of those things are free, and you can learn something about crochet. I'm here to inspire you, and I hope that I've done that today. If I have, please press the like button and give it a thumbs up. That way YouTube knows that you've watched it and you liked it. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you next time. So join me then to find out what's on the hook.